If a pro fighter did his jujitsu on him, then the guy's gonna come back and duct tape his family. Pro fighters are
What?
Oh, yeah, he's getting into a beef with a UFC fighter, which is really a smart thing to do, I think. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
Why?
I just wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, somebody who's trained their entire life to kill people, you don't want to taunt them? Why?
Because they're dangerous, well-trained, brain-damaged, like people with poor impulse control.
Yeah.
If a pro fighter
they're like UFC fighters are like genetically and like artificially like modified black people.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't need that.
They're
you know
terrifying.
the UFC fighter has a higher thigh bone.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking terrifying because they spend their whole life developing like muscle memory.
Yeah.
And then they destroy their fucking brain and any fucking control over that muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
So people just tap them on the shoulder and they fucking, go to prison.
Yeah, they basically just become Solomon Grundy. Like they're just these fucking mindless killing machines.
Have you seen Sean Strickland's ears? That's 200 blows to the head.
Seriously.
If a pro fighter did his jujitsu on him, then the guy's gonna come back and duct tape his family. Pro fighters are the epitome of squares. They're
What
like,
if you just pays your hooker girlfriend more than you did that day? What are you gonna do then?
Pro fighters are he called them squares.
Family. Pro fighters are the epitome of squares. They're like, come in the ring and I'll fight you. UFC fighting is gay. Like all that shit. Like MMA fighting.
So you want him to meet you at a gym where you can jump him again with 11 guys?
Right. But sneaking your papers into prison up your asshole, that's cool and straight.
Wait, what?
Yeah, remember he talked about in his videos how his papers, you would have to keister them. And some other fucking criminal dude who was like, no, you don't. This is what your papers look like. And they were a huge roll. He goes, I guess maybe he keistered them, but he goes, they wouldn't fit. So he was bragging about having to hide stuff up his asshole in prison.
Nice.
UFC fighting is gay. Like all that shit, like MMA fighting and all that shit is for people who never really were in fights.
All right, so there
are many examples of MMA fighters fighting in the real world and fucking people up. Have you seen this when they pick the wrong guy and he's an MMA guy and he just fucks somebody up?
Live stream recently, Wes Watson went on one of his most delusional and idiotic rants ever, which is saying a lot because every day he goes on some deranged rant where he just sounds completely unhinged. But this one is something else, and who are willing to kill people. I think it's UFC fights, they're willing to kill people. But we all know 3 of his boys to octagon.
Ring.
And the fact he's trying to make this behavior sound cool while he's on trial for assault is wild.
Yeah, he's still on trial for beating up the guy in the gym. Remember
This guy
that?
just doesn't learn.
Don't encourage anyone to run up to these pro fighters. Pro fighters are pussies. Okay?
I've been saying that recently. Like anybody that, especially like UFC and stuff, those guys are all pussies, man.
Cool, yeah. Shake Chuck Liddell's hand and tell me that he'll kill you. It's like shaking like a catcher's mitt. These guys are fucking monsters. No, you know what? Honestly, if you're a Wes Watson fan, listen to him. Go do what he's saying. I think I want to live in a world where people start doing that. Go do it.
Okay? They're only good in the ring. People I know will not accept a loss, okay? If a pro fighter did his jujitsu on him, then the guy's gonna come back and duct tape his family.
That's kidnapping.
That's not winning at a fight, though. That doesn't make you a pussy. That makes the other person a criminal.
Okay? You don't want to fuck with the wrong people. And the wrong people out here in the world are not pro fighters.
Bro, didn't What's-His-Face literally shoot at a pedophile and go to jail for it?
You guys need to wake up. These are very big-time squares. Pro fighters are...
does he think that UFC fighters don't own guns too?
Yeah, they
do.
Enemy of squares. They're like, come in the ring and I'll fight you. The people I grew up with and went to prison with, they don't give a fuck about a ring. They don't give a fuck if they're on camera. They don't give a fuck if they have to fucking live the rest of their life in prison. You will not beat them.
But you can't. No, we're talking about in a fight. Yeah, and you can't stop them from coming back and killing your family. Like, I get that, but no one's saying that.
Nobody was bringing that up except you.
He's so stupid.
They will not take a loss. You guys live in a fantasy world where pro fighters aren't the biggest squares on the planet.
You couldn't even put tags on your car.
UFC fighting is gay. Like all that shit, like MMA fighting and all that shit is for people who never really were in fights. Like they never whooped ass their whole life. So they're always...
Many of these fighters started training for the MMA when they were like 15 years old, dude. Like, especially like those Brazilian ones and shit. They've been training since they were children. Are you kidding me?
It's like, I'm gonna train and fight. Like, I've always just handled shit very easily. I never had to think about fighting because I always just extinguished the problem, however I had to. So the point is like, that's for people who like never could really fight. They had to go learn to fight. I mean, people.
But
who
wait.
Go ahead. I know what you're gonna say.
Go ahead.
So his theory
All right.
is that the people that train in jiu-jitsu did so because they're so bad at fighting.
So bad, yeah.
That they needed to train. That's
But the people on the street who were never professionally trained fighters.
not even applied to fighting, applied to any skill. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, he's one of the, to be
Nah,
fair,
this guy-
he's one of the stupidest people that's ever existed.
This jackoff took a fucking cooking class because like he wasn't naturally good at cooking. You're like, oh,
Yeah, this guy
sounds like he had a
fucking
passion
guitar.
for cooking and he wanted to get better at it. It's like literally.
handle business, they don't have to learn to fight. There's a difference between fighters and violent.
This guy was like really bad at bodybuilding, so he had to hire a trainer to help him get a fucking
It's
to go
even
to a
funnier.
bodybuilding show.
That's even funnier. Not bad at bodybuilding. The guy had no muscles.
You guys had no
naturally.
muscles,
He
so-
didn't come out as a muscular baby. This guy had to lift a bunch of shit to fake it.
What a fucking pussy.
What?
people.
This guy, right? So apparently, this fucking. You ever heard of fucking Freddie Freeman? Well, apparently this guy was so bad at baseball that he had to sit there as a kid, and his dad would throw baseballs.
What?
And he would fucking
No,
practice.
what a pussy.
He's only good because he practiced hitting the ball so much.
Bro, have you heard of this dude?
What a bum.
This dude Hoist Gracie, dude. This fucking loser, right? Since he was like 12, dude, was like taking classes to be good at jiu-jitsu, dude.
Bro, this guy Steph Curry, he's so bad in the paint that he learned how to take the best for three shot. Like he's the best at three pointers in the whole league because he's too pussy to get in the paint, dog.
You know what? Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, he's such a fucking loser that he takes advice from like Reggie Miller and like other people to get better at it. Like,
This
it's
fucking
weird.
idiot practiced how to take shots from further away from the basket.
What a loser!
To get more points because he's too afraid to get close to the
What a
basket. This guy's an idiot.
Bro, you know Larry Bird used to shoot free throws with the lights off because he was so bad at basketball.
Fucking Shaq should have took some advice.
Then you couldn't see him.
You should really stay away from violent people because it doesn't matter how good you are at fighting.
Do you imagine
when
at a UFC press conference if somebody said that? Yo, this guy's been training. He's
What a
such a bad
fucking-
fighter. Like, yeah, wait a minute. Have you not been training? Because you have a UFC fight coming up.
Bro, this guy spent like 6 months at American Top Team like a fucking loser.
What a jackass.
Yo, this guy went to Muay Thai to work on his stand-up. What a fucking asshole.
This douchebag went to go fucking overseas to train with Khabib. Oh, yeah, right, whatever. I guess you need the best fighter on the planet to help you learn. The pound for pound greatest fighter of all time. Yeah, I would say it's a good opportunity to go learn some
Fucking
shit.
moron.
Oh, look at me. I'm training on a box with Sean Strickland. Yeah, I would imagine you're getting better.
You're right, dude. I didn't even think about that. The more you really think about that statement, it's one of the dumbest things anyone could say.
Oh, look at me. I like to get better at things.
Yeah.
So that I'm like, yeah, actually, I just go out there and I use the same natural fucking stance I had when I was in third grade. Like, good luck.
Dude, I want to get better at like video editing. So you know what I did, dude? I went and saw YouTube videos like a fucking loser to learn how to do it, you know? You're just not naturally gifted.
I wanted to get good at art, so I went to one of those AI websites and I typed in a prompt.
between fighters and violent people. You should really stay away from violent people because it doesn't matter how good you are at fighting when they want to take it to the level. They'll take you out. And so there's a huge difference here. You guys have it all misconstrued. Fighting is some weird sports shit that is all these people do, and it has nothing to do with violence. Because a violent person will end your life.
Yeah, dude, you know people that play like street football, like pickup football, bro? They're not as they're way better than people that play in the NFL and like take lessons and do two-a-days and learn how to like, you know, be good receivers. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta have it naturally.
And this is the thing. You guys need to quit thinking that UFC people are going to be able to fuck around with violent motherfuckers. Because a violent
Many UFC people are violent motherfuckers.
motherfucker won't lose. He won't take it. And you'll be like, wait, put the gloves on. And he's not going to hear it. And it's going to be a problem for you. So what? You have an active
By the
case.
way,
Why
that
are you
chick's not even
talking about
attractive,
this?
bro. Is that a look that guys like?
Oh, you big humongous clown lips?
And humongous clown tits? There's
No,
just
I
humongous
don't.
clown
I
parts?
don't like it. I don't like when a chick looks super fake. Like that to me is not like a turn on. And by the way, I do not mind fake boobs. There are some really good, well done fake
Yeah,
boobs
I
that are
just
nice.
prefer not.
Yeah, but even if you have them, no. But look, here's my
But
point.
just don't get the big old bazonga tits.
But if you're a mom,
Yeah,
like, right, if
both
you're a mom
moms.
and the breastfeeding was rough on you, I understand going in there and going back, hey, let me get my boobs back to what they used to. I completely get that. Like, that, honestly, I get it. It's self-conscious. It makes sense.
when your titties start to look like you know, like you ever get like the shitty Reese's peanut butter cups at the store, the ones that've been sitting
Yeah,
on the shelf
yeah.
for a while, and the centers kind of collapse in. You know?
Oh, and the chocolate's splitting. It's all dusty.
I really
that
turned
happens to mom tits.
I really turned around on fake boobs, man. The technology's gotten really
Technology,
good. Yeah,
like the
boob
$6 million
technology's.
man.
I'll be honest, boob technology's gotten great. The BBL technology is fucking horrendous. Like that looks bad. You know?
Have you seen when like the implant flips around and then they have square asses? That's pretty great.
Yeah, Forrest Mommy in the chat goes, yeah, you just have to get the expensive ones. That's right. If you get the expensive ones, they're good.
You have an active case. Why are you talking about this?
Yeah, so Wes never disappoints. I mean, the guy's facing jail time, and he still doesn't tone down how unhinged he is at all. Like, this is a generational crash out from him, and he ended up deleting this stream.
He deleted the stream? Why? You fought? What are you, a pussy? Oh, Sean Strickland replied. Oh, Sean Strickland replied. Okay, hold
Maybe
on.
at a moment
Wait a
of
minute.
self-awareness or something.
Wait a minute. Is he beefing with Sean Strickland?
I think we're about to see that. Let's find out. I don't
Probably
know.
unlikely. You know, his lawyer.
No. Don't do it, bud.
No, that's not a good plan.
You are not Dreykus Duplessis. Like, if you were Dreykus, I'd say, yeah, you got a good shot. But don't do this.
I just told him to take it down because this is a terrible look for him.
Versus like Walter White yelling in a closed car.
Yeah, Hank, no!
And I thought Wes was probably trying to get a beef going with fighters, but some big fighters responded.
Guys that are in the fitness are closeted gays who are too ashamed to jerk off to dudes, so they jerk off to themselves doing squats.
That's really funny.
Based.
And it sounds like Wes doesn't want that
I do that, actually.
smoke now. Like former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland called Wes out, but Wes had no response to him so far. You know, I think he might be scared. It turns out he's
Why?
Strickland would fucking murder Wes Watson, dude.
actually not that tough. But this is what Sean had to say. Somebody asked him if he's going to accept Wes Watson's challenge. And Sean said,
Oh my
LMAO.
God, that's actually the best answer ever because it's so dismissive. Look at that answer from Sean Strickland. Wait, you mean Watson? What the fuck are you talking about? Watson from Bellator? He doesn't even know who Wes Watson is, which makes this even better.
Bro, what are you talking about? Watson from Bellator? So he has no idea who Wes is. You know, he thinks he's a fighter in a different league. So this must be embarrassing for Wes because he thinks everybody knows who he is. You know, he thinks of himself as like the most famous person alive and the most interesting man alive.
You understand, I am massively famous.
But not for the reasons you think.
I have to guide everybody because they suck.
That's fair.
That's a good philosophy.
I'm going to follow what you're doing.
But I don't like people. You're pussies. You're pushovers. I am 6 foot, so it doesn't matter.
I like the watermark. It's from somebody's account named
Trans Wes Watson.
Trans Wes Watson is great.
I am the most interesting man. Like that guy in the Dos Equis commercials.
You know, the guy from the Dos Equis. He's awesome.
Wes Dosecki Watson.
You're an old Mexican man? What are you talking about?
That's like me. Most interesting man alive.
You can even
He
say the
doesn't
word-
always get pussy, but when he gets pussy, he pays for it.
I am 6 foot, so it doesn't matter. Man, I am the most interesting man. Like that guy in the Dos Equis commercials. That's like me. Most interesting man alive.
Yeah, you couldn't even say interesting.
Then somebody explained to Sean Strickland who Wes is. They said Wes is some roided up, muscle bound douchebag that yells on his phone all day, made his name from making prison YouTube videos, and he said on video that UFC fighters are pussies and squares that aren't that tough. And Sean said, guys that are into fitness are closeted gays who are too ashamed to jerk off to dudes, so they jerk off to themselves doing squats.
That sounds like, I'm not kidding you. Tell me that doesn't sound like something Owen Benjamin would have tweeted. That does sound like an Owen Benjamin tweet, doesn't it?
Maybe he's writing for Sean Strickland now.
That describes Wes pretty well. And then also a former UFC fighter, Dean Lister, he responded.
Oh, Dean Lister, that guy, that loser.
The Dean Lister?
Too, and said, anyone heard of this guy? Damn, it would be so easy to beat him in less than a minute, unless he had like 4 friends or something.
To be honest,
Such
it would
an
be easy
embarrassment.
for any of you, like, fuck Dean Lister or Sean Strickland. I don't mean that. I don't mean fuck you in that sense. But I'm saying you could go pull some fucking bum out of a fucking regular jiu-jitsu gym who's a fucking blue belt, and he'll kill Wes Watson. We don't even need a UFC or a Bellator guy. Go to Gracie, Tampa, and pull out some cauliflower-eared bum that's nobody's ever heard of. He would have Wes Watson choked out in fucking 40
He'd be a
seconds.
pretzel on the floor.
Have you ever seen like when two like when somebody fights, like it's a very interesting thing to watch when somebody has jiu-jitsu training and then you see a bar fight break out and within 2 seconds you go, oh buddy is outclassed. Oh buddy is outclassed. Like you see
My
him,
favorite video.
they start doing certain moves that you go, oh no, oh buddy, you shouldn't have started with that
Once
guy.
you see him take one of these stances,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, fuck me. Here we go.
Or if they shoot for the hip right away,
Yeah.
you're like, uh-oh. If they're trying to immediately do a fucking takedown, you're like, oh no.
Hey, I think that guy in the Flanagan shirt just did a double leg takedown on that guy.
That is one of the worst signs is if you get in a bar fight with somebody and they're trying to get you onto the ground, it's going to end
Also,
very quickly.
have you ever seen UFC fighters in public when they're? I've seen many cases of this where
They
they're
just don't want to be bothered.
but they really give these people like leave me alone, leave me alone, and when they don't, well, it ends pretty bad.
Well, especially when you make like $250,000 a fight, it's like you have to behave too. And it's like people are always like, oh yeah, I hate one of them fucking 12 UFC guys. And they're going like, please don't. Just please don't. I've literally got a fight in 3 weeks, and if I get in any kind of trouble, I'm out $250,000, and I have to pay the trainers and all the people I work
I'm
with.
drinking a cranberry and soda because I'm not allowed to have alcohol for a month.
Matter of fact, I'm not allowed to have the cranberry. And if they find out I'm drinking this, I'm going to get yelled
I'm
at.
gonna yell that. So just leave me alone, dude.
Anyone heard of this guy? Damn, it would be so easy to beat him in less than a minute, unless he had like 4 friends or something. Such an embarrassment. And then also Gordon
this guy.
Ryan, who's like,
oh,
you
Gordon
look at the
Ryan,
rest-
this little guy.
Another fucking bum. Another.
If you looked at the rest of Dean's tweet, he made the same point that Mersh made. Look at it was fucking. It said, look, he said on his point, those Navy SEAL and Marine snipers aren't good because they had to go to school to learn how to shoot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Tough Guy Army Ranger. You didn't know how to shoot as a baby?
Fucking loser.
You had to learn? Yeah, we all had to learn stuff.
You had to learn how to be a submarine fucking captain? Ooh,
Yay.
wow.
I came out of my mom's pussy knowing how to drive. What?
I could fucking drive a stick when I was 3.
I did a fucking 3-point turn out of my mom's pussy.
Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yes, that's...
so easy to beat him in less than a minute, unless he had like 4 friends or something. Such an embarrassment. And then also Gordon Ryan, who's like one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners
In the fucking world.
the world. He responded and said, imagine living in this delusion. The people you're talking about could make sweet love to you and you couldn't do a thing about it. Also, you want to see real violent people
really
who know and are good at high-end violence. Make friends with vets, not I see red bro cons. Yeah, so Wes
I
was just
see
getting
red, bro, is the that's really funny.
humiliated by these people as expected. You know, they're all bragging about how they could end him in a minute or R-word him in a minute, which probably just sounds like a good time to him. And I think that's probably why he's secretly looking
That is
forward to going back to
honestly
jail.
the funny, to me to this day, the funniest thing as a man that you can threaten another man with is rape.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's just always funny to me. Like, I will literally hold you down and fucking rape you in this Publix in front of everybody. And it always makes me laugh because the confidence that goes into that. It's one thing to hit a guy and knock him out. It's another thing to rape a man in front of an audience. Like, that takes overwhelming amounts of power.
And dedication.
There's something about the thought of a grown man flopping underneath,
But
just
not only
fighting.
that,
You're like,
but also like being turned on. You have to do all that while being turned on.
Yes.
You know, not losing an erection.
I can will my dick to get harder.
Yeah, they're not even gay.
No.
They just want to punish you that badly.
And he acts like he's above internet beef. You know, now all of a sudden he acts like he's just too mature for this kind of stuff. So this man is just so pathetic.
So for every clown that takes it to the internet for fame,
That's you.
You.
because they think you have to have like an internet Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef when I don't know who they are and they try to copy me and shit.
Do you know who Sean Strickland is?
And they have no following. They've never done anything. And they bought their
Strickland is
tattoos.
actually famous. People actually know his name.
And I don't know who they are and they try to copy me and shit. And they have no following. They've never done anything. And they bought their tattoos at the store.
Where did you buy your tattoos?
What is that?
I'm sorry. Where did you get your head tattoo? At a flea market?
Those people are always just trying to get internet fame through top people like me. But what most
I like
people...
how he has like full color tattoos and he's like, I got these in prison.
You know what makes Wes Watson the worst is
Idiot.
that people are making money off of him and he's not getting a cut of it. That's what's hurting him more than anything else.
don't see is that when we were at the gym right now and when we were at Pura Vida right now, at least 7 people came up and said, Wes,
You called me an F slur right to my
Yeah.
face.
you changed my fucking life. I
I'm a
absolutely
gay guy now.
love you.
And you know that.
You know, here's you just walk up to him and be like, "Hey, man, I just want to see you really change my life." Like knowing like a gay con man can get out of prison and like just
That's
really,
crazy,
make
dude.
their
Thank you
lives
for
wild,
inspiring
dude.
me.
And the fact that you married a trans person to be an ally, like that's
fucking brave.
crazy. Dude.
Not since Jim Norton have I been this impressed.
Me neither. Me neither. Not since Norton's Epics special have I been this impressed.
Jim Norton's Nordic fucking spear chucking wife.
Yeah, no, seriously. Looking like one of the long neck cloning aliens from Star Wars. What are those called? Some nerd in the chat's gonna tell me.
Now,
Fucking Pleiadian looking bitch.
Yeah, seriously.
Also, nobody's ever looked cool with a skull tattoo except Bam Bam
Bam
Bigelow.
Bam.
He's the only one allowed.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
everybody
meet-
else,
Good. I'm glad. I was
fucking cheap.
I was
imitate.
about to attack.
No, he's
Merch.
the only one.
Okay.
He's the only one allowed.
Bam Bam Bigelow's awesome.
And
Bam
who
Bam
the-
Bigelow fucking.
And when he was
ruled.
alive, what the fuck? Were you gonna say something to
No,
him? No.
no.
So,
Bam Bam Bigelow fucking scared the shit out of me.
yeah, when I was a kid, he was one of the ones that scared me.